welcome everyone. This is Amhara Media Corporation, Amhara TV, and you're watching our daily news live from the studio. I'm Gaila Damu. Stay with us. The leadership and workmen of the Prosperity Party's main office said it is worth ensuring Ethiopia's prosperity by destroying the terrorist group and its destructive forces. Fikradi Zaudu reports.
Headquarters of Prosperity Party planted seedlings as part of the Green Legacy campaign. On the occasion, Prosperity Party's Political and Riot International Development Deputy Head Musa Ahmed said that this is the beginning to create a prosperous country for the coming generation. The deputy head added that in order to achieve prosperity, people should participate in development works besides supporting the survival struggle against the terrorist TPLF.
We are at war. All Ethiopians are contributing to win this war. However, war demands a lot of things in addition to going to battlefields and be a warrior. We should identify and choose our battlefield. So we have to focus on other things too. I know it will be difficult not to think or not to hear about the war because of the current vibe of our country, but we should find a way to carry on with our lives in order to win the war and maintain peace in our country.
Prosperity Party Special Executive Assistant Leah Tekeste on her part stated that the progress in planting seedlings in different places is showing improvement so far.
የብልጽግና ጽፈት ቤቶችም በክልል ያሉ የብልጽግና ጽፈት ቤቶች ሁሉም አመራሮችም ሰራተኞችም ይህንን የአረንጓዴ አሻራ መርሃ ግብር
We have been working to internalize and implement the Green Legacy with all our members and administrations, and the result is good. It is obvious that the Green Legacy could mean a lot in the country's economy. That's why we were working intensively to plant many seedlings in this winter and try to create awareness about the Green Legacy campaign. And we think the plan and the work that has been done is productive.
ችግኝ እንዲተክል አሻራውን እንዲያኖር እንዲንከባከብ በጣም ብዙ ጥረት ተደርጓል ውጤታማ ነው ብለን መውሰድ እንችላለን
Solomon Kabeda, participant of the planting, also said that he has been supporting the survival struggle beside working on peace and development.
በአሁን ጊዜ በሀገራችን ውስጥ ሽብርተኛ ህወሓት
What the terrorist TPLF did on our country is unthinkable, and we give our salary and donate blood to support the survival struggle. We are committed to go to war if there is a need. We should work in unison to defend our country from the terrorist TPLF's desire of dismantling Ethiopia. So, we should work hard to support the struggle in one hand and work on development works in the other hand to defeat TPLF and maintain peace in our country.
Another participant, Fadlu Jamal, added that maintaining peace in the country is fundamental for development.
Our country needs peace, security and development too. I think all Ethiopians could understand that. All Ethiopians work in bringing the reform, and to maintain what we started, we need to discharge our responsibilities in every aspect of what is needed. Maintaining peace and security is the role of every citizen.
The party members also conduct environmental cleaning works in Bishoftu town.
The Ministry of Education announced that billions of birr worth of educational infrastructure had been destroyed by the TPLF terrorist-made harassment and assault. Abba Brahani tells us more.
Ministry of Education, Dr. Engineer Getahun Makuria, in the 30th round National General Education Sector Conference, has presented annual educational report of the year 2013 Ethiopian calendar. In his report, Dr. Getahun stated that appreciable works have been performed regarding technology, student-teacher ratio, sex ratio, and adult education so as to ensure quality education. He also stated that in the year 2013, political conflicts, flood, COVID-19 and other phenomena were some of the bottlenecks that influenced the education sector. As to the explanation of the minister, in Tigray, Amhara, Oromia, Afar and Benshangul regions, more than 7,000 schools have been damaged within the past 1.5 years due to various conflicts. Some of these schools have been damaged by the provocative acts of the terrorist group TPLF.
ሀገራችን የተለያዩ አካባቢዎች በትግራይ ሙሉ ለሙሉ እንዲሁም በኦሮሚያ በአማራ
The education sector has experienced big human lives and properties damage due to different wars happened in different parts of the country like Tigray, Oromia, Amhara, Benshangul and Afar regions. Due to the conspiracy of TPLF, about 7,000 schools have experienced big crisis.
ጦርነቶችና ግጭቶች ምክንያት 7,000 ያክል ትምህርት ቤቶች ከቀላል ጉዳት እስከ ሙሉ በሙሉ ውድመት ደርሶባቸዋል።
It is stated in the report that in the year 2013 Ethiopian calendar, 1.4 million students and 48,000 teachers have been out of school, adding that educational infrastructures that are estimated in billions have been damaged due to the provocative acts of the terrorist group TPLF. Dr. Getahun stated that, apart from the destruction of education sectors, the terrorist group has been recruiting and deploying children for war.
በትግራይ ክልል ብቻ 1.4 ሚሊዮን ተማሪዎችና 48,000 በላይ መምህራን ከትምህርት ቤት ገበታ ውጪ ሆነው የቆዩ ሲሆን
In Tigray region only, about 1.4 million students and 48,000 teachers have been out of education. Not only this, large number of students and teachers are also becoming victims of this problem in Afar and Amhara regions due to the expansion of the terroristic acts of TPLF.
እንዲሁም በአማራ ክልል 140 ትምህርት ቤቶች እና 2 የመምህራን ኮሌጆች ሙሉ በሙሉ እና በከፊል ወድመዋል።
A speaker of the House of People's Representatives, Taggase Chafo, on his part said that education is one of the sectors on which large amount of national resource has been invested. Nevertheless, the provocative act of the terrorist group TPLF has distracted the remarkable achievements registered in the education sector. He added that Ethiopia will continue its journey in strengthening the education sector.
አሸባሪ ቡድን ባመጣው የማይገባ ጦርነት በትግራይ ክልል ባሉ የትምህርት ተቋማት በደረሰው መጠነ ሰፊ ውድመት
Due to the unjust war provoked by TPLF, schools of Tigray region have been distracted. For this reason, students have been out of school for about 17 months. This situation resulted psychological crisis on students and children. However, I want to assure you that our country will keep on strengthening the education sector so as to solve multifaceted problems posed on our country and sustain its development journey.
በአጭር ጊዜ ውስጥ ሀገራችን በልማትም በትምህርት መስኩም ስኬታማ የሆኑ ስራዎችን አጠናክረን እንደምንቀጥል አረጋግጣለሁ።
Ethiopian Ministry of Education has already unveiled the new education roadmap that will be in effect starting from the coming 2021-2022 academic year. Brown Workana has more.
The ministry unveiled the new education roadmap in its 30th National Comprehensive Education Conference held yesterday. The ministry announced at the conference that the new 5-year education roadmap will be implemented as of next September. The roadmap is believed to replace the education system that has been in place for over 2 decades, and it has failed to bring the sought quality and efficiency as well as human resource development. Curriculum inconsistencies with market demand, teacher incompetence, lack of technology support and access to equitable education were identified as some of the key problems in the previous education system. It is stated that intensive efforts have been made to develop the new general education roadmap with a view to ensure the quality and accessibility of education system in Ethiopia.
የትምህርት ስልጠና ልማት ስራችን በዲጂታል ቴክኖሎጂ ማስደገፍ ጉዳይ አማራጭ የሌለው
Supporting education sector by digital technology has not alternative choice. Therefore, deploying the digital technology of the 21st century is important to ensure quality education in our country. It is essential for registering the increasing number of students coming to schools. Last year, as education sector, the ministry has drafted the project called Digital Technology for Education Sector Transformation involving stakeholders, and now the reform work is being carried out.
በዘርፉ የሪፎርም ስራዎችን በመስራት ላይ እንገኛለን።
Speaking at the conference, the Minister of Education, Dr. Engineer Amhara, said, over the past 3 years, reforms have been undertaken in the education sector to ensure the quality of education. Accordingly, the new curriculum gives major priorities including ethics, indigenous knowledge, vocational education, technology, production and practice, research and development. He further said the new system will be implemented with the support of technology in a way that fits the 21st century education requirements.
የታቀዱት እቅዶች ሁሉ እንዲሳኩ ካስፈለገ የሁሉም የመንግስትና የግል
In order to execute and implement the intended plan of the ministry, government, private and non-governmental developmental partners have to work jointly. In the new education roadmap of grade 11, 12 and adult education, the stakeholders have to discharge their responsibility to achieve the intended plan of the ministry in the education sector.
ድርሻ እንድትወጡ አደራ ማለት እወዳለሁ።
A Speaker of the House of People's Representatives, Taggese Chafo, said on his part, all stakeholders must play their part if the new curriculum is to be successfully completed.
የአዲሱ የስርዓተ ትምህርት ሪፎርም ብዙ መልካም አጀንዳዎችን ያካተተ ቢሆንም አተገባበሩ ላይ ስኬታማ እንዲሆን
Even though the new education roadmap has included many agendas in it, all stakeholders working in the sector have to work closely to implement the new education roadmap on the ground.
ሁሉም አካላት እጅ ለእጅ ተያይዘን ልንሰራና ተግባራዊ ልናደርግ ይገባል።
The former Minister of Education, Dr. Agete, on his part said, the newly drafted education roadmap is the country's small constitution. He said, if the curriculum of the country fails, the nation will also fail. Today's conference is a pledge conference. Therefore, it makes the conference special, and all concerned bodies have to play a great role to realize the new education roadmap as per the capacity. I want to urge all education professionals, teachers, and the government to give due attention and to implement the new education roadmap on the ground.
መላው የኢትዮጵያ መምህራንን የትምህርት ማህበረሰቡን መንግስትን አደራ ማለት ፈልጋለሁ።
Tigray Interim Administration Chief Executive Officer Abraham Belai said there are no people or government that negotiates on the sovereignty and unity of Ethiopia. Abebe Brahane reports.
In the effort to challenge the sovereignty and national unity of Ethiopia, internal and external forces have been using anti-people groups such as the terrorist TPLF. He added that it is impossible to tolerate foreign forces that want to interfere in the affairs of the country and dictate terms against the sovereignty and unity of Ethiopia. In their efforts to challenge the country's sovereignty and unity, internal and external forces are using anti-people groups such as the terrorist TPLF.
ይሄ መንግስት ለማንም ኃይል በጉልበት ለሚመጣ በሉዓላዊነት ለሚመጣ ከሆነ ድርድር የለውም ይሄ መንግስት።
Our government will never tolerate and compromise with those who want to destabilize the country. In a partnership, both parties should have similar interest and thinking. If not, it will not be effective. As a government, we will never accept and tolerate the intention of both internal and external parties. They are also understanding the stance of the government.
ለምን መንግስትም የምንቀበለው አይደለም ማለት ነው። ይሄ የመንግስት አካሄድ እየገባቸው ነው ያለው።
The chief executive officer explained that these forces have realized this stand of the government.
የሀገራችንን እድገት የሚያስጨንቃቸው የህዝባችን አንድነት የሚያስጨንቃቸው አካላት አሉ። የኛን ልማት የማይፈልጉ
There are forces who do not want to see the prosperity and development of our country. They want to see us fighting each other. They have been working cooperatively to block our development activity and pull us back to backwardness. However, there is no people in the government who will tolerate this.
ለዚህ ነው አጀንዳ ያደረጉ በየቦታው ያነሱት ያሉት። ይሄንን የሚቀበል ህዝብም የለም መንግስትም የለም። ስለዚህ ተስፋ የላቸውም ማለት ነው።
In this regard, he explained that forces which observe that Ethiopia is on the right path of the development and the reform, government do not negotiate with any force that uses force against the sovereignty of the country are tirelessly working for destruction. Abraham said that one of the issues that constantly challenged the country is the destructive mission of internal forces, noting that the terrorist TPLF, which has never cared for the people, is a manifestation of this. The chief executive officer revealed that it is not uncommon for countries that support this terrorist group, both at home and abroad, to try to create influence in terms of finding a puppet government. The group has betrayed the people and the country by attacking the respected and popular National Defense Force. He said efforts to stop the terrorist group from destroying the country and to destroy it forever will continue, strengthened through cooperation.
ይሄ ቡድን ሀገር ለማተራመስ የሚሰራ ቡድን ነው። ሀገር ለማፍረስም በይፋ አሸባሪነቱን ያወጀ ቡድን ነው።
It is a group who works for destabilizing the country. It is a force who officially declared its terroristic acts. The group has completely betrayed Ethiopia and its people. The betrayal of this group did not start only on attacking the National Defense Force. However, the group had also been secretly conspiring to dismantle Ethiopia before attacking the National Defense Force. Now, as a government, we have been working cooperatively to abort the terrorist act of this group. This group has never had public agenda. It always runs for its individual interest. The group usually disseminates false propaganda as if it cares for the people.
በምንም መልኩ ለህዝብ አጀንዳ አለው ብሎ ተናግረዋልና ደግመን መናገርም ያለብን አይመስለኝም። የዚህ አካል የጥፋት እንቅስቃሴ ግልጽ ስለሆነ የውሸት ፕሮፓጋንዳው ደግሞ የታወቀ ስለሆነ
It is to be recalled that at a meeting the United Nations Security Council held, China, Russia and India expressed solidarity with Ethiopia, noting that the country can solve its internal problems on its own.
Head of Wallo Front's public mobilization, Wandale Haptamu, said no one will never be confused by the false information that is being fabricated by the TPLF's digital media conflict Entrepreneurs. Fikradi Zaudu has the details.
It is stated that people are organized to defend themselves from the terrorist TPLF atrocities in different places. Head of the Wallo Front public mobilization, Wandale Haptamu, said that the terrorist TPLF paid a lot of digital people to work on its propaganda, saying that it has taken over different places of Amhara region. However, people are not buying its propaganda, rather working against it in an organized manner.
ያኔ ያው ይሄን ሀገር ለማፍረስ እየተንቀሳቀሰ ያለው ፊት ለፊት በሚመራቸውና በስውር በሚመራቸው የጁንታው ተላላኪዎች ጭምር ነው። አንዳንድ ከተሞች በተለይ
The terrorist TPLF is working to dismantle Ethiopia using formal and informal forces. It sometimes use internal bandas to disseminate false propaganda and make people leave their own towns. But now, people already know how digital Wayane works, and people who live in Haik, Wichali, Ambassador, Isabalima, and Pasomile are carrying out their day-to-day activities.
ፓሶሚሌም እዛ አካባቢ አሁን ያለንበት አካባቢ አርሶ አደሩ ኖርማል የሆነ ህይወቱን ነው የሚቀጥለው።
According to Wandale, the terrorist TPLF group has committed various atrocities in towns that it took over for a short period of time by looting public properties, killing many people, raping women, and even killing domestic animals. And these deeds have to be defended in order to make it pay.
ወያኔ በሽብርተኝነት በኢትዮጵያ ፓርላማ ሲፈረጅ
The terrorist TPLF has been called a terrorist by the Ethiopian parliament for a reason. It kills, loots properties, destroys towns, and terrorizes people with false information. So, Ethiopians should fight this group regardless of their ethnicity, religion, or political ideology. Now, all Ethiopians are fighting the terrorist TPLF with undaunted bravery, and Ethiopia always win.
አሁን ባለው ሁኔታ ደግሞ ድሉ የኢትዮጵያ ህዝብ ነው።
The public mobilization head also said that atrocities and evil deeds are the terrorist TPLF's characters, which have been defended by brave farmers of different localities and needed to be stopped in any way that could be found.
የወሎ አርሶ አደሮች ጀግኖች ናቸው፣ ተኳሾች ናቸው። ባማንቀን አራሾች አጉራሾች ናቸው። በጦርነት ቀን ደግሞ ተኳሾች ናቸው።
Farmers of Wollo are brave. When there is peace, they farm to feed their families and their community. And when there is a war, they became warriors for their sovereignty. We can take farmers of Sodoma and Girana, who still stayed untouchable by the terrorist TPLF. These farmers are not only fighting the terrorist TPLF, they are also disarming the terrorist TPLF soldiers and take weapons to arm themselves and protect their surrounding.
ወያኔን መውጋት ብቻ አይደለም ከወያኔ ሰፋፊ የሆኑ ትጥቆች በስፋት ያዝረከረከ የሚሄደውን ትጥቅ ጭምር እንትን ያሉ እየወሰዱ ራሳቸውንና አካባቢያቸውን ያስታጠቁ ያካባቢያቸውንም ያገራቸውንም ሰላም ነው እየጠበቁ ያሉት።
The head stated the fact that people need to secure their town and their localities by being organized and alert towards the terrorist TPLF.
You're watching Amhara Media Corporation, Amhara TV News, and now let's take a look at the foreign exchange rate and karat rate. That's all we have for now. I am Gaila Damu. Many thanks for watching. Stay safe and have a great time.